I paid $300 for this broken PS5, which seems like a pretty good deal overall, except for the fact that it's liquid damaged. So let's get it taken apart, see how bad the damage is, and see if it's fixable. This video is sponsored by Keeps. More on them in a minute. Now normally when I get these I will try to power them on before I take it apart, but in this case, since I know that it was liquid damage, I want to take it apart and check out the damage, see how bad it is, see if I can clean it all up and fix it, and then we'll try and turn it on after that. If I tried to turn it on now, it is possible that I could do more damage than is already there. With all those screws out and the fan out, it's time to take the mid frame out. I did notice there's what looks like sort of like droplets here on the mid frame. So there's definitely evidence so far of liquid, but it's gonna be interesting to see what the actual board looks like. Also, I noticed this has not been taken apart before. The warranty sticker was fully intact, so this is the first time anyone's been in here. Let's get this mid frame out and see what it looks like. Okay, absolutely no issues so far. So now I need to remove the disk drive. Then I need to remove the 43 screws around this metal plate, and then we can take that up and see what it looks like under there. So the seller of this broken PS5 states, I don't know when, but water or some kind of liquid was accidentally spilled on my PS5 unknowingly. I think 2 days after the spill, the PS5 was turned on and seemed to be working fine until about 2 to 3 minutes later when it stated that it was overheating and turned off. So now that we have all those screws out, let's remove this top plate. Okay, everything looks good on the plate, and everything that I can see looks really good on the board. I see no problems so far, but who knows what we'll find when we turn it over. Got to get this screw out and this screw out. Then we need to remove the clamp and this spacer. Then we can get the motherboard out and check out the top side. And with the clamp off, let's remove the board. Well, this might be a first. I seem to have bought a PS5 where the seller claims liquid damage, but I don't actually see any damage on the board. Also, I always like to check this liquid metal to see how it looks, especially in a console that hasn't been opened before. I've been noticing some of these have like little dry spots on the edges and different places on the actual APU. I don't know that that's causing any problems, but it seems like it definitely could if there's parts of the APU that don't have the liquid metal right up against it. So I've inspected this board pretty closely and I see zero evidence of liquid anywhere on the board. So what I'm wondering now, maybe the board is okay, maybe the fan is faulty and that's why it overheated? I really don't know. So I think the next logical step is to put it back together, see if it turns on, see if the fan turns on, and then see if it'll overheat for us. So it's kind of hard to see, but you can see down here on this fan cage, there's a lot of little droplets of liquid here, so I'm kind of thinking maybe it is a fan issue, but I got to get it the rest of the way back together before we can test that. Before we go any further, let's talk about today's sponsor, Keeps. Keeps is a subscription service that helps men keep their hair. They offer clinically proven treatment to help combat the symptoms of hair loss. And the great thing is they make it super easy because it's delivered straight to your door. Prices are usually half the cost of a pharmacy, and all treatment plans are personalized and doctor recommended. Speaking of doctors, all Keeps plans come with a year of unlimited doctor messaging. So anytime you have a question about your treatment, you have access to your doctor right online anytime. Keeps works so well that most people notice results within 6 months of starting treatment. Since 2 out of every 3 guys are going to experience some hair loss by the time they're 35, it's great that Keeps offers research-backed and clinically proven hair loss treatment. The great thing about Keeps is you can get quality expert care without ever stepping foot in a doctor's office or pharmacy. In fact, they have an entire network of expert medical advisors, prescribers, and other specialists. These people are all there to make your hair goals a reality. So no matter whether you're trying to prevent hair loss, promote hair growth, or just keep the hair that you have, Keeps has you covered. You can easily subscribe to Keeps and get refill reminders so you never run low on the products you need to keep your hair looking great. Hair loss stops with Keeps. To get 50% off your first order, go to keeps.com/TronicsFix or click my link in the description. That's KEEPS.com/TronicsFix. So right under here is the little board for the fan. And just looking in there, I don't see really any liquid damage. Maybe a little bit. I think I did see just a tiny bit, but you never know what's down under the chips and stuff like that, so we'll see. I'm gonna get this fan installed, then we'll turn it on and see what it does. Okay, and now it's back together enough to test. Let's plug it in and see what happens. So we got a blinking blue light. The fan is definitely not starting. Oh, got a white light, but still no fan. Okay, your PS5 wasn't turned off properly, blah, 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 but still no fan. Now I'm gonna put my multimeter on the power lead to the fan and see if it's getting power to the fan. 0 voltage on black, 0.3 volts on gray, and 12 volts on this little pink line. So that tells me that it is trying to power up the fan, but the fan is just not powering up. So it's clear that this PS5 needs a new fan. Luckily, not too long ago, I tried to fix a PS5 that tech racks dropped down a spiral staircase. And inside that PS5, I found that the fan might be the only good part, aside from some components on the motherboard. So I have that fan right here. Let's put it in and see if this fan will actually work. It's very important if you're pulling the fan connector on the PS5 or even the disk drive connector, pull on the white part that has the wires going into it, not the yellowish part that connects to the motherboard. So I'm just gonna put my needle nose pliers. These have very sharp teeth on them. I'm gonna put my pliers on each side. We'll go back and forth while I pull up, and the connector will just pop up. Now we can just pull the fan straight up and install the TechRax fan. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be a little bit surprised if this works, but also there's no reason it shouldn't. It all looks good, so I think this should work fine. And let's verify that we have voltage to the fan. 12.13, okay, good. Now let's turn it on and see if this fan spins. Oh, there we go. Oh no, listen to that fan. I thought I could get one good part out of the TechRax PS5. Obviously, that is not the case. It does wobble even though I didn't notice that before, so now I gotta get a different fan and put in here that hopefully will work and not wobble. So let's try another new fan. Okay, that seems like it spins pretty good. And once again, we do have power to the fan, but let's see what happens when we turn it on. Okay, good. And this fan sounds great. This fan is so quiet. So I got to thinking about this broken fan that I removed out of the PS5. And I actually started looking down in there and I think I can see some corrosion right on that IC right there. It looks like there's some right there, and then maybe it goes across the board just a little bit. So what I'm gonna do is see if I can get my toothbrush or anything down in there to clean that, and then let's see if we can actually get this fan working again. Okay, that's as clean as we're gonna get it. Let's install this fan and see if it works. So once again, this is the original fan that came out of this PS5 that had corrosion on it from the liquid damage. PS5 is now plugged in, and we do have 12 volts to the fan. Let's see if it starts up when I start the PS5. Come on. And it does not start up. Unfortunately, this fan probably could be fixable if I could remove this metal piece right here, but unfortunately this metal piece is held down by this plastic piece, and this plastic piece is fused onto the shaft of the fan, which means in order to remove this top of the fan, I would have to destroy the fan just to get down to the board that has the liquid damage on it. Unfortunately, manufacturers just don't care about making stuff like this repairable, so instead of being able to repair the components on the little board for probably a couple cents, we have to install a whole new fan. I wish I could have actually fixed the broken fan on this PS5, but at least it was easy enough to get it working by replacing it. If you want to see the video where I tried to fix the PS5 that TechRax threw off a 200-foot staircase, I'll leave a link for that on your screen now. If you're interested in trying out Keeps, I'll put my link in the description so you can check it out. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a good one.